This is my video for the Rio Black Rifle match held June 4th, 2022. On this stage, there are 5 targets that must be engaged from 4 positions. They go out to about 300 yards. For this match, I'm using a KE Arms civil defense rifle available at Brownells with a SIG Romeo 8T and Juliet 4 power magnifier. Because I have to keep my bipod mounted for the entire stage, this first position is a little awkward having to shoot through this constricted port with it folded. But I definitely want it for this next position where I'm going to shoot prone through a tube. I fold the bipod back up to be able to shoot through this port successfully. I shoot all the targets straight left to right, so as I'm moving across the range, my exact engagement sequence changes as the target presentations change from the vantage point I'm shooting from. I am first in stealth on this stage, giving me 100 match points. There are a total of 3 targets on this stage, 2 at about 300 yards and 1 at just under 400 yards. On this stage, the shooter has to engage the first 2 targets at about 300 yards from the first 3 positions. You'll see that the strobe on the right target is sometimes going off without a hit, so we have to watch for all of the strobes to light up, not just the one portion of it. This tank trap prop is the least stable position on the stage. I really can't use the other portion of it being left-handed, so I just have to make do hanging off on that end of it. Here you can see the strobe on the one side, it keeps going off with misses, and then look for the full array to light up. From the final 2 positions, the shooter has to get the 2 targets at about 300 and the 1 at just under 400 as well. Now to shoot through the window, I deploy my bipod. I am first in stealth, giving me 100 match points. On this stage, there are 4 engagements from the barricade. The shooter will then run forward and engage final targets standing offhand. This is an empty gun start on this stage. From position 1, I have to get 1 paper target, take out 1 of the plates on the ground about 50 yards downrange, and then hit the 3 targets that are going out to about 250 yards. This same general process is going to repeat from all 4 positions. I did just leave the magnifier in place on this stage. It wasn't worth flipping back and forth to engage 1 or 2 targets from each position. I've missed too many times, so I'm going to end up needing to do a reload in the middle of this next position. It would have been better to reload between positions, but it wasn't part of my stage plan, and accordingly, I'm not thinking about it. The final plate I end up taking shooting through the bushes that are obstructing it from this position. The better way to have shot this would be to have taken that plate from the first position where it's clearly visible. The shooter now has to move forward and, at a minimum, take the closest steel target standing offhand. The other 2 targets are worth minus 10-second bonuses if you hit them. I get the first bonus target easily, but the second bonus target is just far enough out that I have to sling a few rounds at it before I make a hit. I am second in stealth on the stage with 89.68% of the winner's score. On this stage, there are a total of 13 steel targets that must be hit from 3 different positions. The first position is from the stairs without making contact with the platform. For the first two arrays of hangers, I just support off the guardrail, but for the further targets and the target array off to the right, I'm going to deploy my bipod and shoot from the top step without making contact with the platform. Now the second position is off the top of the rail, so I'm just going to go as close to the corner as I can to get good support. And once I've cleared these first two hanger arrays, I'm going to switch to the center rail and engage the remaining targets from this position. Now the final position is underneath the top rail, and as I'm going prone here, I realize that going prone on my bipod would leave my optic obstructed by the 2x4 that's going across. So I have to kind of improvise a position here where I'm supporting off the middle rail and propping my body up high enough to see through the optic with my support hand. Now I can go prone properly on my bipod, engaging the final targets up the middle and off to the right. Overall, a lot of awkward positional shooting on that stage. I am fourth in stealth with 83.43% of the winner's score. There's 3 steel targets that must be engaged from 3 different positions, and 2 different arrays of clay targets that must be engaged as well. I start off on the right-hand side of the range, engaging the close-range clays, and now I'm engaging the 3 steel up on the hill. Now I hop up onto the trailer and engage the 3 steel at range, again from this blue barrel position. I'm able to recognize that there's some wind blowing left to right, and I need to hold off the left edge of the targets. From this position, there's another 2 clays that have to be neutralized, and then the 3 steel up on the hill again. I'm first in stealth, giving me 100 match points. In the end, I'm first out of 37 shooters in stealth division with 473 points out of 500 possible. Overall, I'm 5th out of 70 shooters with 90.21% of the winner's score. Thank you for watching. Come back again for more action shooting competition content.